What's up, guys? Zurich here, back at it again, with another VOD review of one of my games from Shreema Cup. This is also from day one. If you guys didn't catch my last video, we played in Shreema Cup. We smurfed. We're a beast. We're the new god of TFT. My humble arc is done. I'm entering my overconfidence arc. I just talked to Bryce Blum. Some of you guys don't know esports law, who's a caster and everything, and he was gassing up my play. So now I'm feeling even better about TFT. But yeah, this is the final game of day one. This game did not matter for like placement. I was basically already guaranteed to make it into the next day. What this game did matter for was bonus points. If I wanted to have bonus points on the day, I needed to do well in this game. And I get a Giga Gold opener. This is full gold, one component opener. And I basically already knew that from the start because I got 10 gold from the first, as you saw on 1, 2, I got 10 gold. I was like, can I even sell these? And you can't sell units on 1, 2, so I couldn't make 10 there. But if I could, I would have. And so I get this final gold orb, and I say, okay, this means that I can make 20. I wanted to hold on to the Tarek, but the option of making 20 is too juicy, so I make 20 here. Now, this is a really, really important decision here. This can affect the entire game. It is prismatic, final lobby. I am making 20 gold here. What do I want to go for in this situation? I wonder what you guys think I would go for in this situation. I'm looking at Starter Kit, Zonkron, Harm Assist. I'm a starter kit hater. I will say that outright. I play Caitlyn for Stars is Born, not for starter kit. I think starter kit generally sucks. It is very, very prone to just low rolling and losing the entire game on the spot if you get a really bad forecast. So I don't like starter kit here. The one thing I'm thinking is I have a gold opener. If I can hit some kind of econ augment or some kind of augment that leverages my weak early game into a strong late game, my game is just going to be easy. Imagine I hit level up here, hedge fund here. Isn't the game just over? So I'm going to roll some of these augments. I'm definitely gonna roll starter kit because I hated it. Cyber Leech, which is horrible with my one item opener, so we can't live with that. I say, ooh, Harm Assist 3 is just not an augment that I'm that much of a fan of, so I'm probably gonna roll that. I roll Zon Crown because I have 0 Zon units. I had Freaky Friday, which is pretty solid. This is a good augment to just play towards a sort of like generic AD angle. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll take Freaky Friday here if this last reroll doesn't hit anything. And now I'm gonna reroll Harm Assist, and I hit Pumping Up the third. This augment was just buffed this patch. Units gain 12% attack speed in each round, increase this by 2%. What does this augment do? It gives you a really weak early game and giga spikes you late game, giving you infinite attack speed, basically. So I say, you know what, isn't pumping up insanely good in this position? And I take it here. And the game plan is that I'm going to play the world's weakest early game. I'm going to lose every single fight and maybe get, like 10 0'd, like barely kill a unit every fight. But I'm going to hard spike at 3-5, and at 3-5, I'm going to try to find either Zeri or Feliosport, ideally Zeri, and we're just going to spike very, very hard. You see, I fight someone with some upgraded units. I just have no chance. You also see that I put in very intentional units here. Renekton, Cho'Gath, Cassiopeia. This is the combination that I actually learned when I was grinding for last year, but the last cup, when I was playing Vladimir, basically open fort every game, and I played this opener all the time. The Renekton, the Cho'Gath, and the Cassiopeia, because all of those units are single target. They all do a really good job of killing units. However, I see this shop. I have Aurelia pair, now I have Jhin pair. These units are going to transition a lot smoother into the kind of comp that I want to play. So I say, you know what, I'm just going to hold these guys instead. And so I sell off those units. And I mean, look at this. I can make 30 here. Jhin, if he gets a good shot off, would kill a unit potentially, like if we all focus fire at Aurelia, but we couldn't focus fire Aurelia. I think there's a positioning diff. If my frontline lives enough, I maybe could kill an extra unit. But yeah, I mean, look at my econ. I can make 40 gold here, 40 because of that full gold opener. All I have to sell is this Cassiopeia. I also notice, really, really important, the only ones here is open for it as well with Transfusion. They were holding Aurelia, Samira. This is really good for me because I'm quite sure that their board's going to beat mine because they actually have a synergy in, and because Samira's a 10 times better unit than Jhin. So I know if I fight them, I am actually going to lose the fight, which is really, really good. And so all I have to do, they're the only other player actually like trying to play for for loss streak. I looked at Bobby X's board and their board was not that bad. And so I say, okay, you know what? All I have to do is just Giga Scout them every single fight, and if I lose to them, we will be absolutely cruising. So yeah, but look at my HP, 76. That's the only downside to this spot. I haven't killed a single unit yet, and I fought, I think, like 4-4-4, level 4 into level 4 into level 4. That's why I'm at 76 without killing any. We're also Targon Prime, which is interesting. So, at 40 HP, we're going to get the Stimmy. The, whatever bonus it is. It was called Stimmy in the past for any TFT Zoomers out there. But yeah, we'll get the bonus. It can be gold, it can be items, it can be a tactician's crown, it can be whatever. So here, I see Jintu in the store, but I say, wait, this is actually really, really risky. If I fight this guy and I make Jintu, I'm going to win. So I sell the Vi, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at their board, and if they decide to sell, I'm going to sell. Look at this, by the way. This is really crucial. I pick up the Irelia and hover their board, and if I ever see them selling, I'm going to immediately press my sell key and sell this Irelia so I can sell as fast as possible. So this is what I do. I know my board's weaker than theirs, but look, I immediately see them selling, so I start selling my entire board. Sadly, I don't fight them. I fight Bobby X, but if I had fought them, you saw they fielded a Samira and a Cassiopeia, I would have lost that fight. So I'm actually playing this opener really, 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 really well. Like, I'm actually a beast. I am nailing this opener, and I only have one fight to go, one single fight, and as long as I lose this fight, we're in an amazing spot. The other downside is they're not even 5 loss. I'm pretty sure they won the first fight based on their HP, unless they just had a godlike loss. I also see, look how beautiful the shop is. I can buy an Irelia, a set, and a Karma that can smoothly get me in to the rest of the late game. All I have to do is just lose this final fight. I can full sell my entire board and then buy Irelia, set, a Karma, and I'll be completely fine. So I say, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing, hover Irelia. But here, I noticed something crucial. They're fielding a stronger board actually. They put the Warwick in, they put the Jinx in, and I thought, okay, I can actually make my board a bit stronger. Maybe I'll just buy this Irelia, maybe I'll buy this set and make the board a tiny bit stronger. However, I might be the worst TFT player of all time, to go back to the humble arc. I buy Irelia plus set here. The problem with this is that this is going to get Ionia in, which is a really, really strong synergy early. And wouldn't you know it, I actually get punished and fight the loss streak here. If I had just bought Irelia, I would probably kill the Warwick and maybe this Cassiopeia. But for some reason, my brain malfunctions. I buy the set, and all of a sudden, this beautiful early game is turned into like actually a disaster because I win on the final fight. I've gone down to 67 HP and I have nothing to show for it. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's some way I lose this fight. Like, look how close it is. All I do is just give them a perfect loss. It's so bad, and you can see on my face, I'm like, I did not need to do this. I have some serious issues. Like I am like losing my mind here, but it's okay. I still have a ton of gold. I still have pumping up, which is one of the strongest augments in the game if you can get to late game. So all I need to do is get to late game and I'll be okay. The other thing that I'm thinking about here is just, okay, what is my sort of like later game, like my mid game board going to be, and what augment am I going to get from the situation? Um, Also, looking at items here, my items actually end up working out pretty much perfectly. I get dropped a Deathblade, which is really good in pumping up. You have all this extra attack speed, so you really just want the AD. And then Warmogs and Protector's Vow. Just beautiful itemization, honestly. Really, really happy with it. And I get dropped to Akshan, who's going to be a really nice item holder. And look at this, because I'm so rich, I would have even been richer. If I'd lost that fight, I'd have another 6 gold, but I can level to 6 here and make 50. I'm giga rich. So after winning that fight, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna maybe I can start my win streak here. So I'm gonna slam protectors, I'm gonna slam the warmogs, I'm gonna slam the deathblade, and I'm gonna slam a bow. And maybe we can actually win this fight and start our win streak here. It's actually hilarious. We fight Spicy or just Appies here, and we do end up beating his level 5 board. So you can make the argument that like it's fine. I'm just starting my win streak here. The problem is that like this is a completely fake win. My board is not very strong, and if I had wanted to, I could have easily lost this fight by slamming no items and just had an incredible loss streak. So obviously a bit troll there. Augments here. I actually call out before this. Just hit social distancing here, and I'll be in an amazing spot. And boom, I hit it. There's almost no better augment in this position. Reroll everything, but social distancing is amazing here. Why is social distancing so good? In TFT, you want what you lack. We have a ton of attack speed, so we want something that scales with attack speed. AD and AP scale incredibly well with attack speed. So yeah, this is just like the best possible augment at my position. We have a ton of scaling attack speed. Now we have a ton of AD and AP. Our augments just give us everything that we want. With this augment combination, I feel like I should be averaging like a third at worst this game. Like it's actually just so good. It's insane. So yeah, and we hit the Irelia too. So now our board's not even the weakest in the world. We're going to fight this person who ended up, I know if I play Zeri, I'm going to be contested by this person because they took Tome of Traits and hit Zaun emblem plus Gunner emblem, and they have a Last Whisper. I'm like, wow, that's a really good Zeri setup. I take a 4-unit loss to them because they've also natural the Jinx too somehow, and I say, oh, okay, it's not the end of the world. I can't be that upset about that. And I find Akshan pair here, which is interesting because potentially if I hit like Akshan 2 on my roll down at 3-5 here, maybe I can just stabilize the board on Akshan 2. and just play around that. It's completely all right. So, but we'll see how our roll down goes for sure. I also really do want to lose this fight. If I win it too hard, this might mean that I lose pick priority. Like imagine I win this fight and the only ones and Wondered lose. Maybe I lose pick priority on Carousel. And if there's a Felios or a Zeri on Carousel, I really, really want to be able to grab it. So yeah, we end up actually winning this fight, beating the 100 streaker, and all of a sudden my worst nightmare comes to pass. Both Bobby X and Wonder lose, and all of a sudden I'm second pick on Carousel, and there's a Zeri with glove. However, I get bailed out by the fact that no one wants the Zeri with glove for some reason, so I get to snap up the Zeri with glove. Oh, so many things went right this game, honestly. So I get Zeri here with glove. I don't want to build Last Whisper just because I know that I'm playing for Giga Cap this game, and I'm not even that low HP. So I'm just going to greed the Last Whisper, but we're going to level here and roll down and try to find our board. We have 45 gold to roll with. Immediately we see double Urgot shop with an Aphelios in there. We see another Zeri in the shop, and immediately I say, okay, I have two Zeris. I'm just going to keep rolling, but I'm going to start pivoting my board. Hit a set 2 as a solid front laner, and boom, that's Zeri 2. And honestly, like, the game's a wrap at this point. This roll down went so well. I'm pretty sure it was one-way contested Zeri because it would be very strange for me to hit this hard. I mean, I don't think the other player had any Zeris. I don't think there's any Zeris out of the pool yet at this point because it would be pretty surprising if I hit this hard on Zeri while being contested, which, very fortunate that I'm uncontested this game. I mean, I picked an angle that I thought would be not contested, but I sort of had to do something like this with pumping up. And it naturally an Atrox on 7 here, and now I'm trying to figure out, okay, is it better to get Freljord plus Atrox in? And I'm 99% sure that, yeah, this board is definitely stronger, so I opt to play this board, and then I say, well, at that point, then Irelia is fake because he's not providing me anything, so I'm going to move items over to set. He's going to get Juggernaut, and all of a sudden, my board looks, I mean, really, really solid, like completely fine. I can maybe even just go fast 8 from this position with how strong my board is, with how strong my augments are. My items are fine, and if I can get some good slammable items off wolves, then I'll be okay. I'm pretty sure in this spot, by the way, why I'm like, oh no, I said out loud, like, oh no, I really, really hope I don't go first this game, because if I place really well in this tournament, people are gonna VOD review my games and see my horrible fight at 2-6. But you know what? I'm VOD reviewing myself. We're gonna own it. Look, Frodan VOD reviewed it. He saw it. Everyone should see that terrible play because even people who do really well in TFT tourneys, they're making infinite mistakes, and I definitely made infinite mistakes this game, obviously. But yeah, I mean, the spot basically plays itself at this point. I get dropped a lot of bows. I know one of these wants to be Titans, and so I'm thinking here of going for an RFC. I wanted to roll a little bit to be stable because I know there's a lot I can hit. I can hit Urgot 2, I can hit Sejuani, I can hit Lysandra. I hit the Sejuani plus double Lysandra shop there, and I say, okay, this has got to be enough to stabilize me through the rest of stage 4. I'm going to build Titans here, and then RFC is not even a bad item on Zeri whatsoever. It's kind of like a um a Guinsoo's like minus, like a A tier Guinsoo instead of an S tier Guinsoo. I also noticed that this Wonder player has Eternal Winter, which is going to be really, really annoying for this area to deal with. And I do have these double gloves here. You could opt to make TG here, but I just want to greed for like Hodge plus a glove item for Zeri. So yeah, my one's here actually pretty bad. Like I basically have to reroll all of these. I end up hitting Ancient Archives here, which is basically the only option. I look at Endless Hordes for a second, and I think like the potential of Endless Hordes is actually pretty high here, right? All of these, my augments actually benefit my entire board, though I don't know how I'm gonna fit that many units with social distancing. And I say, you know what, I'm not gonna take this. I'm gonna try not to be dizzy. I'm just gonna take this tome and then crack it. I see a Gunner emblem. I say, okay, that's solid enough. Slayer emblem might not even be that bad. And then I see another Gunner emblem, and I see, okay, I can just play 4 Gunner on level up, and that can be my board, and then I can get set out for something, and we'll just be completely fine. So I take double Gunner emblem, slap 1 on the Atrox, 1 on the Urgot, and I say, okay, my level 8 is just going to be +1 Gunner, obviously, ideally Senna, but someone like Jace can item hold, or just, like, synergy hold for a little bit, but, like, you can see on my units with these synergies in, like, look at Zeri, just boom, 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 just killing everyone, doing 7k damage in such a small amount of time, and we're only going to get stronger. We're only going to keep pumping it up, pumping it up. I do realize, actually, later this game that I didn't check what Stimmy was. In this galaxy, you should always look for whoever the first person drop below 40 HP is so you can see what you're going to get from the Stimmy. It was actually a Tactician's Crown this game, which I should have played around better knowing that I was going to have a +1, but I was just, my mind was trying to figure out what the board was, so I forgot about it, which is, of course, my bad. TFT is a hard game. I realized that I can level here and still make 10 gold, and I'm on a 5 streak, so I just say, you know what, 4 Gunner is actually like a pretty big spike. So I'm just going to go for the level here, not play greedy at all, try to preserve HP, try to preserve my econ, and just level in this situation, which I think is completely fine. So yeah, we end up leveling here, and we just end up stomping this relatively strong board from Appy's. So yeah, we have double glove here, so we have to figure out what we're going to take off carousel. Our options are tier for Hodge or cloak for Quicksilver. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here. Another behind the scenes. We end up taking, we have the option of tier or cloak here. And it actually is kind of genius for us to take cloak here to take QSS because we are not going to get, we're not going to get hit by Eternal Winter. I'm going to be real. For some reason, my brain malfunctioned and thought I had a bow here and thought I was about to build Renan's Hurricane on this area, which is also like an insane item in this position. Um, but no, we don't have a bow. We can't build Renan's. We have to build Quicksilver. But honestly, Quicksilver might even be better than Renan's in this position. So it's actually completely fine. But yeah, I don't know what was going through my head. My brain was just like swirling from playing so many games of TFT, and also the fact that I knew that I was into the next day. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna build items. And I mean, the QSS is actually amazing here. So not mad about it at all. We still have a lot to roll for, so I'm going to start rolling my gold above 10 every single round. Just try to find Urgot Sejuani too, because these are huge upgrades. We also have to find someone to play over the set. So yeah, like these upgrades are actually very, very real. We end up finding Jace too, which I'm like, it's kind of fake. Like we're not even getting the extra shock blast, but like it's all right. I think for a second about putting Shen in, but I mean it's way weaker as a frontline than this set. This set has actually been carrying me this entire stage. I also see this player. I forget who that was, but they had Ari too, and I was like, whoa, that's actually really scary. And there's also this player, Biri Biri. This is the player who early game had the Zon +1 and the Gunner +1, and they have now 6 Zon with an exploding double Warmog Jarvan, and that is the person that ends up beating me here. And I go, oh my god, this person actually might be a bit annoying in the late game. I even put my Zeri like far away from everyone, but like it didn't actually even matter there. I see the Jinx here and think, okay, maybe there's some way I can play around 4 Zon. Honestly, if I knew that I was going to get a Tactician's Crown after my last loss, I would have held this Jinx longer because you can just put her over Jace and then put in like a Warwick, and then we will have 4 Zon, and that's like a really cheap board that you can play. But I end up not really playing for that. And we also get dropped Hodge here, which is perfect, and we naturally Urgot, which is huge. So now I'm thinking, okay, now that we have Sedge too, we can probably do something like this, move the items over to Sedge. He's a much better item holder than this set. Put the Hodge onto Urgot, and boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, our board looks insanely good. So yeah, I'm very happy with this board overall. And I mean, in general, I'm in a really nice spot, obviously. 44 HP, we're still scaling our pumping up. We have 3 items on both of our carries. We have 4 Gunner in. We have this Quicksilver versus this Eternal Winter, which actually does a ton of work. This fight's kind of close. I wonder if Quicksilver ends up actually being the diff here. You could say maybe it was. This player also wondered. I don't know if I think I, the, I think this is where I noticed it. I didn't see my crazy reaction, but I'm pretty sure I laughed really hard when I saw their setup because their last 2 augments are Infernal Contract level up or level up Infernal Contract the other way around. Level up obviously allows you to push levels, and Infernal Contract says you can't push past level 7. They popped into my chat afterwards, and they were like, level up Infernal Contract, and I was like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, I was like, it kind of makes sense if your spot's like Giga Doomed. Like if they were going 8th, taking level up Infernal Contract to try to just play for like a 5th at best is actually like really, really smart. And I believe that they said they were in like a horrible spot. So it actually makes a ton of sense. We take a close loss to Humbug here, drop to 32, so we're going to get our Stimmy in this situation. And then we can put an extra unit because it's Tactician's Crown. I'm like, wait a minute, oh my god, there's Stimmy. And it's Tactician's Crown. I'm like, wait, who am I going to put in here? I decided to play Soraka here just for Invoker. Not the worst, right? Especially with all these units in. Invoker giving my team some extra mana gen is not that bad. And I think at this point, like, I'm like, my board is so strong, I should just go 9. Like, I don't have anything to roll for. So I really don't want to, like, roll for another +1. I'm just going to play this garbage Vi plus Soraka because we have pumping up and our board's so strong. I think it is going to be fine. Though we do end up fighting Appy's board, which I think he got to this is 7 Shrima because everything insta-ascended, and it looks pretty scary, right? We almost lose this fight, but Zeri lives at 1 HP from the Akshan ult, and all of a sudden, like, this game looks pretty free. There's a Zephyr on Carousel here. I don't actually remember what I take. I think, oh, I want a 3rd tank item for Sejuani here. I end up going for Redemption here. I think afterwards about maybe if Sunfire was correct. I'm pretty sure I talked to Joe Bookmark about this, and he says Redemption is correct. It's always Redemption. You don't really need the extra damage from the Sunfire and the Healing Reduct, and there's actually not that many boards where healing matters that much. So I think Redemption feels really good here. I probably should have thought a little bit longer about the decision because, like, yeah, most of these boards, like the Zon board, there's not that much healing. With a lot of these boards, there's very little healing. That Yasuo has like zero healing except from his like innate Ionia bonus. So like, yeah, there's actually like very little healing in the lobby, so it's fine. But I definitely should have thought deeper about that decision. I decided to do this because I really, really want to stay declumped from this Jarvan, but they managed to put Jarvan same side, and the Jarvan jumps right on top of my Zeri, which is really scary. But I realize when I fight them, I'm fighting Clone. I lose it here. I fight Clone, and the Clone doesn't get the Zon mods for some reason. So I just get a free fight versus probably the strongest person in the lobby. This game was so blessed by Mortdog. It's actually crazy. Like, just get a free fight here. Like, what can you say about that? But I still know that that person's going to be a big problem later game. So I have my eyes on them. I see I have these two fights here that I think are relatively easy. We have the only ones and Wonard. Wonard was playing like a Noxus Belvath. We end up fighting Wonard one more time here, and I know my board is always going to be higher capped than Wonard here because I mean they're basically playing down two augments. So we can always, always, always beat this. It's actually relatively close for a second, but I mean Zeri burns through everything with pumping up, and we get there in the end, and they go fifth. So like honestly, if they were gonna go eighth, but Infernal Contracts allows them to go fifth, like really well played from them, even though it's a very strange combination that I've never in my life seen before. But now we can just go 9. I'm going to sack 1 at 6-1 here because I think my board is strong enough. It's kind of a questionable decision because, like, we're not that healthy. But I think, like, my board should be so strong with the pumping up value that I think I can just sack 1 here, get my maximum gold value, level next turn with as much gold as possible. Item-wise here, I thought about Last Whisper for a sec. We do have Freljord, but just getting that Last Whisper early on is fine. But then I say, like TG's pretty bad on Jace here, but eventually we can move that to like a Senna or like a Scion later, and then it's going to feel really good. So I think TG makes a lot of sense. And really here, we know we're going to fight Appy, so we just want a position to not get Akshaned. And so I put my theory like towards the middle here, and I think, okay, I mean, this fight should probably be pretty easy. It was pretty easy last time. And then all of a sudden, I see my front line just kind of gets one shot. We can't make it through the Sejuani, and all of a sudden we get stomped by Appies and take a huge loss. And I go, wait, 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 wait. This game's not going to be like a fourth, right? Only one dies, and so now it's just me, Appies, and Biri. I can go 9 here. I find the Senna. I can definitely play around that. I find a Rise here. I find the Heimerdinger as well. And we're just getting out all of our sort of like bad units and putting in good units. Also, I definitely should have put the Rise in over Soraka. Yeah, it takes me a sec to realize I sold a Rise already, but all good. And I'm also sacking social distancing value here. But now we're going to fight Appies again. Our board is a lot stronger since the last time we fought, so I hope that we can win this fight. We also see our Zon, or our Ionia. Wait, what is this portal? Targon Rise. Pick up the enemy, the Appies Sejuani and throw it back down, which is really, really nice. This Ionia Rise is actually, I said Ionia, man, I don't know what portals are. This Targon Rise is actually really, really nice here. And we have the option of hitting Atrox 2 here, so I just say, you know what, this could be my last fight if I die. I'm just going to build Atrox 2 and lock for Meccano. So we just have to beat this Zon player. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move all of my units to the right here. I end up stacking social distancing value on almost everything just so that I can try to attract this Jarvan to this other side. He does end up exploding over there, leaving my Zeri completely untouched. We end up winning this fight. And this is going to be what I'm generally going to go for the next few fights because I really, really want this to explode away from my units. I also really want an Atrox item here because I'm just Atrox 2. I end up going for the... oh, actually, no, I don't go for Atrox item. I go for a Shojin here to make my board tankier, yeah. Because I want to just slap it on Senna and make my board tankier here. I think this will also help versus the explosion to maybe save me some more time. Honestly, I probably should have Shojin the Rise. This Rise is also really, really good in this situation because the Rise can pick up the Jarvan before he explodes, throw him down somewhere, and like allow me to win the fight with the Jarvan. But right now, this Rise is actually in a really awkward spot where he's not always going to target the Jarvan. They're also allowed to Zephyr me here, which feels really bad. But you see this Rise here targeting the Jarvan. Jarvan jumps in, but then does Rise swap aggro? No, he does pick up the Jarvan here, but he ends up dropping into a really unfortunate spot, like basically in the middle of my team, and ends up killing all my units. And we just take a 0 unit loss to the Heimerdinger turret here, and I'm like, no, please, please, just let me win. I get my Shrinko double Meccano here, and so we only have a few more fights. I end up swapping the Rise over to here, so that he's always, always, always going to ult the Jarvan, because I don't want him ulting like a different unit. You saw he was like pretty close to the Scion in that last fight. Like if he had like switched aggro for some reason, he would end up going on the Scion here. I am going to try to fake swap the Zeri as I do, just because I need to keep the Zeri really far away, and I get her Zephyred again. But you see now the Rise is in a really, really good spot to ult this Jarvan every single time. Jarvan gets to 1 HP, and then we lift the Jarvan up, kill a bunch of their team, drop the Jarvan down, and then it's enough to win this fight. This Targon Rise is actually doing work, but we got one more fight to go. 6 HP on them, 4 HP on me. And it's the final fight for all the marbles, the most hype position that you could possibly be in. So let's see how this final fight goes right after we fight the dragon here. Ideally, I just want to hit some 2-star 5 costs here. I am level 9, so it's possible I could hit like a Scion 2, Rise 2, Senna 2, or something like that. Item-wise, I look for, I don't even know here. I think this is actually Quicksilver for Atrox here. Roll down. I'm like, okay, I have Scion pair here. Maybe I can hit Scion 2. I can't hit Scion 2. I can't hit Rise 2. So I slap the QSS on Atrox. Honestly, I don't know how much this QSS Atrox does. I don't think it's very much. I contemplate actually like switching sides here, but I just say, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to make that work. I'm just gonna swap Sari back, and it's hopefully gonna be fine. And here we have the final fight versus them. They actually Zephyr my Rise, which is really clutch. But the Rise comes down, and we don't do too much damage to the Jarvan. So we do end up actually lifting up someone. I don't even know if that was the Jarvan. But it is enough at the end of the day to win the fight. And yeah, just look at me. I'm losing my mind. I went third overall on points on this day, which was, of course, day 3. But just very pleased to end the day out with a first. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, all my other links down below. Thank you guys for watching.